I am so glad that you could be here today. My name is Rich, the channel is called New Memphis, and welcome to a very fun little bonus episode, kind of, where we're going to do some kit bashing and a little bit of rebasing of some older models. My longtime viewers will know that a few months back we painted 7 Trader Guardsmen from the Blackstone Fortress box set, and also 8 Ghouls and 3 Spindle Drones. Now there were supposed to be 4 Spindle Drones, but I used one of their casing head things for a project that didn't work out, so I didn't end up building that one. Long story short, we're going to have to rebase all of those, as well as building a new Spindle Drone from scratch. In addition to that, we also have our 4 Necrovolt Cultists, which are, I don't want to call them my least favorite models in the box, but they're bad. They're really bad. They're not good models. Any box that's going to have a few misses, as well as a few hits. So, because I didn't like them, I've been cannibalizing those 4 Necrovolt Cultists. You'll actually have seen at least a few random bits and pieces that I chopped off of them throughout other projects. So now we have to build a brand new one of those from scratch, and probably kit bash a few others. It's going to be a big project for a non-project. So strap in, it's going to be a fun one. Remember to like and subscribe, perhaps even leave a comment if you like the content and you want to see it promoted to other people. It does help a lot. Your subscription is also much appreciated. I really want to hit 500 subscribers by the end of November. It's a lofty goal, but, you know, I'd rather aim high and be able to say that I tried my best. So that's what we're going for. Anyway, without any further ado, I should open my beer. Went back to the Oktoberfest. I feel like we need to get that at least one more time before the season's over. It's already mid-November, so, you know. Let's get started. In total, we have 16 models to finish in this bonus episode. Whew, quite the task. Fortunately, most of them are already completely painted, but a few haven't even been assembled yet. Like I said, I've been stealing parts from these Necrovolt Cultists for months because I just don't like the models, but they are part of the set, so now we have to finish them. One of them was completely scrapped and we have to build an entirely new body. But, fortunately, I realized I happen to have an entirely assembled robot body already sitting nearby. I started out by replacing those terrible Wiggly Boy heads. Fortunately, I had the spare Neophyte hybrid heads that we didn't use for my kit-bashed skeleton army. Other than the head, this one is pretty much how they look straight from the box. This one has a guardsman's head, and that power fist is from the Trader Guard kill team, the one we didn't use for our Tzeentch corrupted enforcer. This one has a head also from a Trader Guard kill team, and an arm from something undead. I don't know, it was a spare, I found it in a bag somewhere. Those wires on his back are from the old head. Very aesthetic. As for this last one, our Necrovolt Cultist turned out very well. And by very well, of course, I mean he looks like he's struggling just to be alive, which is absolutely perfect. I originally built him with the axe from a Zangor, however, I ended up finding one I liked even more, once again from the Trader Guard, so let's swap it out. The key is snipping the pieces as cleanly as you can at the thickest point you can. And from there, you just have to sort of have the patience to keep reapplying cement and clipping away extra bits and moving it until that plastic is absolutely welded tight. Excellent. Took a while, but we got there. By the way, the crest on his back is from a Zangor, and that organ hanging out of him is part of his old head. We also had a spare Spindle Drone we needed to paint, and since I used that old casing for a project that went nowhere, I just grabbed a few skulls from the skulls box I keep handy. Maybe skulls are a little overdone in this project, but, you know, I did what I had to do. When deciding what to do with these Ghouls, I happened to realize just how many spare Trader Guard parts I have on hand, so I thought they might be fun to use on the base. This new Arctic theme on these bases will look all the better with a few frozen corpses sticking out of them. Yes, I know some people get very annoyed that I texturize the sides of the bases, but it's so fun looking. I mean, come on, look at this. After adding all of the parts we wanted, we'll add the texture. All I'm doing is mixing about equal parts Elmer's glue and super glue, and maybe a little heavier on the Elmer's, and spreading it with a paperclip. You'll know you have the proportions right if it dries almost instantly. We also had to pry off the black flakes we originally applied to these bases, which left material behind on a few cases, but it'll just add to the unique flavor of one or two of the models. And once that was done, I primed the cultist with Macragge Blue, and our spare spindle drone with Grey Seer. After painting the body of the drone black, we'll add a black wash to the skull. And after a few white highlights and painting that wire, this one is done. Remember that Zangor axe we clipped off earlier? Well, here it is again, adding flavor to this drone's base. We'll start painting that with brass, then emerald, and after painting the Zangor's hand with royal blue, the piece will get textured just like the rest of the base. These poor guardsmen were painted just like the ones we've done previously, so I won't go over all the steps, but I will include all the colors I use in the paint list. As for the bases, they start out with a layer of white over that texture we applied, then a wash of Vallejo Azure, which will also be applied to the actual basing items, then a dry brush of Cork Brown, again on all the basing items as well. After that, we'll pick out a few raised areas and paint them as rocks with London Grey. And finally, we'll make a few specific white highlights and dry brush the entire base in white to tie it all together. I should warn you that Papa Nurgle placed an especially infectious toxin in your fridge. 3 items to be specific. What 3 items are they? Well, unfortunately, the only way to find out is to subscribe. But aside from that, I think it's about time we got onto the good part. Don't you? Alright, I'm not going to mention the 4 Necrovault cultists in our ending bit here, just because we're going to be painting them in next week's project, so I want to leave them out and then go over how I feel about them in that video. But let's do 2 things I like about this project, and 1 thing I want to do better next time for the Ghouls and the Spindle Drones. Well, those guardsman pieces look absolutely amazing as basing fodder right off the bat. Man, there are some projects you like, some projects you love, and then there are those projects that just make you think, you know, what could have happened in my childhood that may be capable of making something like this? I also think that spindle drone with the remains of the old basing pieces still on it actually turned out really well as well. It's not the most flamboyant thing, but, you know, I mean, if we can make a mistake look good, that's always worth celebrating. As for 1 thing I want to do better next time, I do wish I had clipped at least 1 or 2 of the Ghouls off their bases entirely so I could just move them to a different spot. I had to sort of work the basing pieces around where the Ghouls were already standing, and the result was that some of the guardsmen look like they're about to get real handsy with those Ghouls. Which is fine. It's still a really funny bit. I still like basing. It does look maybe a little weird. However, clipping them off the old bases would have, you know, quite possibly have destroyed their feet, which are already painted too, and that would have been a pain. So I wish I would have tried it at least with maybe 1 or 2 of them, but oh well. Such is life, and they're painted now and they look great. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I am excited to hear your feedback, and I am also incredibly excited for these Ghouls and the Spindle Drones to be completed and be joining all the rest of the box set on my shelf. That's going to be really, really satisfying, and I'm looking forward to it. So, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.